Hey YouTube, it's Wolf Will Development. It's my 423rd weekly update. This week's gone pretty good, honestly. This was definitely a good week. Last week was the final super high volume week. We're talking 40-ish reps on squats and deadlifts throughout the week. Sort of. I guess I should say in the 30s on the deadlifts, which was needed, I believe. It really was. I want to say I got some PRs throughout that. I don't think I've ever done, well, mostly on the deadlift, I don't think I've ever done 385 for like 8. I don't think I've ever done that. Not that I don't think I was capable of it before, but it certainly wouldn't have been as as comfortable as they went last week. Or 365, whatever the hell the number was. Whatever it was. I remember when I first started, just doing a set of like 8 was killing me. And then by the end of it, doing a set of 8 really wasn't that bad. But now this week starts the week where the intensity goes up. Kind of a big step. And then with that, the overall volume is going to go down just a touch. So instead of something like 20 reps on 40 reps on squats, looking more in the range of 15 to 20 with a heavier weight and doing sets of 5 now. And that'll be for the next 3 weeks, and then doing sets of 3 with that. And then on deadlifts, instead of 8s, doing 4s. And instead of doing somewhere in the 30 total rep range, we're doing something along the lines of 12 to 16-ish, that kind of thing. So it's something like 3 sets of 4, 4 sets of 4. And I'm playing it very much so by ear. Yesterday, the third set, I was like, honestly, I feel like I could do another set, but I just decided to call it. Like, it's the first week we're doing this, with the slightly higher intensity, so I'm just going to call it for now. Be smart about it. No reason to be in any kind of rush. It's not like I have any 1 rep max deadlifts coming up in any shows that I'm planning on doing. So it just doesn't make sense to really try to kill myself that way. And besides, once the sets of 4s are over, it's going to be time for doubles. At which point it's going to be heavy, and the total reps are going to kind of go back up. I'm talking like 10 sets of 2, that kind of thing. So we'll go from doing 15 total reps, 12 to 15, well, it'll be 12 or 16 total reps, to 20 to 22 total reps with a now higher weight. But because it's only doubles, it's modifying all the other training parameters around those sort of things is the tough part. But luckily most of the accessories I've chosen and sort of off-season strongman things I've been doing are much lighter in weight. Like, we didn't even run yoke this week. Instead, we did sled drags, which was a tough one, actually. Monday after squats, decided to do sled drags both forward and backwards. And on one of the sets of the backwards ones, the rope slipped off the sled, and I fell backwards and landed really hard on my, of course, my left hip, right? The one that gives me the most trouble. Really hurt initially. I said, fuck it, just finish your set. And I remember just trying to push, and like, it was just like that right cheek just didn't want to work. But I said, screw it, just keep going. You know what I mean? Like, you're not injured, just power through it. You're okay. It's just a bruise or an abrasion at the worst, at this point. So just suck it up, finish it out. Yeah, it hurts. Who gives a shit? And very glad I did that. Tuesday, didn't even really feel it. Wednesday, I felt it a little bit. And then by Thursday, I haven't, it's not even, I'm not even really in pain from it at all, I don't think. Like, I feel a little something here when I move a certain way, but nothing got damaged. So I'll be very thankful to have sort of a active recovery weekend while I pour quite a bit of concrete this weekend. I'll be pouring somewhere in the 1,000-pound to 1,200-pound range this weekend. Which is fine. Got to do it. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it is what it is, though. But I'll be knocking out. Finally, be done with like 3 of the orders that I have, probably by this weekend, which is very exciting. very excited to be done with all those. Just in time for the next very large order to start, which is just fine by me. You know what I mean? Yeah, so squats went well. I want to say I did 225 for fives, beltless, which it's been a while since I've done that. And wasn't really sure if I could, but I was like, you know what, if you can do 185 for 10, you can do 225 for 5. And it was the same thing. Like, first set was a little ooh, and then by the time I was on my fourth set, I was like, this really ain't so bad. I mean, I felt it, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't so bad. So, and again, I know those squat numbers aren't really anything to be super proud of, and it's not like I am proud of them, but I'm not super focused on putting up a ton of weight on squats right now. My focus on it is just doing the movement because I feel like the movement is good for me in general. And I feel like if I just keep repeating this, rinsing and repeating this over and over, eventually it gets to the point where I'm doing 275 for 10. You know what I mean? And then 315 for 10, and then 365 for 10. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Just a nice, slow, steady progression over the year. And I'm totally fine with that. Because that can only just make me stronger in general. Pressing went amazing. Did 180 for a set of 6, I think. Never done that. Never. I don't even think in my life I ever thought I'd be able to do that. Smoked it, honestly. It felt easier than last week when I was doing 170 for 6. I was like, geez, it just felt good. Clean and press tonight felt pretty good up until the second to last set. That one sucked. But it wasn't awful, got through it. And then deadlifts yesterday went well. God, what numbers were I doing? I think I did 405, for sets of 4. And they really weren't awful. First set was definitely the speediest. But that was the plan, make rep 11 and 12 kind of be sort of grinders to an extent. And they were. So it's working out. Going to be a slow, steady progression on that too. Probably just going to do like 10 pounds each week. So I should finish up the cycle by doing like 455-ish. Or even 445, 455 for 4s, which is good. That's very good. Normally that's my base where it's like, yeah, I can pull 455 no matter what. Then we get into the doubles, and I'm hoping to be pulling 500 for doubles by the end of all of it, which would be a nice little shoot up for me. Then I'll take a week off, hit some 1 rep maxes on them. And when I say week off, just a deload week, and then I'll hit some 1 rep max on squat and deadlift. If everything goes well, I'm hoping to hit something like 425 or even 435 on deadlift. Or I'm sorry, 535 on deadlift. That would be super cool. And on squat, it would honestly be cool to hit like a beltless 315. I think that'd be super cool. I don't think I've ever done that, and that would be pretty cool to do. Just for now. So, yeah, moral of the story this week, if you fall down, just get back up. If you don't, then what's your excuse?